I'm John Law, this is Chasing Cars, and I am delighted to report that the Hyundai i20N behind me is my new long-termer for the next 6 months. Now, why am I excited, you might ask? Well, it's not the blingiest car on sale, but it is the kind of car that I would wholeheartedly go out and buy with my own money. Why is that? Well, I actually learned to drive on a Clio 182, a 2005 model French racing blue with racing stripes. So this Hyundai i20N is kind of the closest thing to that car that you can buy brand new, save for its main rival, the Ford Fiesta ST. So I am delighted to be running this car for 6 months. But what's this video all about? Well, I'm going to introduce my baby behind me. I'm going to talk you through the options that have been ticked, and then we're going to talk about what I like about it, the 3 high points, the 3 low points, and then what we're going to do in the future. So if you want to see more i20N content and plenty of comparisons and fun videos with this little hot hatch, let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, we'd also love it if you could hit subscribe because it really helps us grow the channel. So first up, how is this car specified? Well, you can't really do much to an i20N here in Australia. It comes in a fully loaded base specification. Now I know that differs in other parts of the world like the UK, so you can let me know how yours is spec'd in the comment section down below, but we've gone for polar white with a black roof. Now this wasn't my first choice, but Deputy Editor Nathan Ponchard actually chose this car. I probably would have gone for dragon red or performance blue, but I'm kind of glad I didn't because I really love how this Panda spec looks. The white paint really plays up the dramatic crease work on this car and makes it look even more boy racer. Now I absolutely love the way this car looks with that black rear wing. I think it looks proper hot hatch, proper exciting, and it really conveys what you need to know about this car's driving experience right from the off. So that's our Hyundai i20N, and it's $33,490 before on-road costs, which is really a bit of a bargain considering what you get for the money. That 150 kilowatt 1.6 engine being almost the least exciting part of the package. Which brings me on to the 3 things that I love about this car so far, and the 3 things that are slightly annoying me after my first month of long-termer ownership. After about a month and 1,000 kilometers of driving this thing, I've got a frankly very short list of niggling issues that I would like to see sorted out in the future, starting with the window switches. Only the driver's side is auto up and down, which means that when you want to roll the windows down and hear the pops and crackles of the exhaust in the M5 tunnel, you have to roll down all the windows by holding the switch, and that's just slightly annoying. Okay, if you thought the window switches were nitpicky, then you're gonna love this, because while I really like the placement of the fuel filler cap, I feel like the way you actually hang the cap on the door there is a little bit loose and, oh, scratched my paintwork. It sort of falls off quite easily. And I have seen you guys in the Owners Club complaining about this, and I have to say, I agree. I think it could be a little bit better. So, driving the i20N and the couple of things that I don't totally love about this experience, well, there's really one thing that bundles into a slight annoyance across the whole experience, and that is the throttle. Now the response itself can be tuned up in a bunch of modes, so I'm in normal now, you've got Sport and Sport Plus, and you've also got the N mode, you can anchor to anything, but that's not really the issue with the throttle response. Personally, so far I've found in my 1,000 Ks that it just tends to rev hang a little bit. If I go into N mode now and go second, boost, third, I can change faster than that, but it doesn't feel great. It feels a little bit lumpy, and the low down throttle response just isn't quite there either. It doesn't feel quite as rambunctious and angry as the i30N's 2-litre engine. The first thing I really love about the i20N is how it looks. Now, if you've seen our Deputy Editor Nathan Ponchard's full review of this i20N on Road and Track, then you'll know he isn't too convinced about the addenda. But as a 24-year-old male, I love how sporty it looks. The proportions with the wheels pushed right to the corner, this diffuser, the red piping, and of course this wing. It all adds up to a package that just looks like it wants to have fun. And I reckon that's pretty cool. And it also turns a lot of heads on the street, which may be a good thing and it may be a bad thing depending on your outlook on life, but I kind of love it. The next thing I love about this Hyundai i20N is its interior. It's ostensibly as well or even better equipped than most mid-spec, you know, regular size small cars, though it is slightly smaller, but it gets so much stuff in here. These seats are delightful. You get a leather appointed steering wheel, leather appointed shifter, this really comfy adjustable armrest, and the driving position is almost perfect. Not to mention the fact that you've got all of this technology in here, this 12.3-inch touchscreen with wireless charging, and you've also got a digital driver's display that changes with fire when you press N mode. Now I know that's not going to be to everyone's taste, but it really does tie in with the rest of this car's attitude. It's got so much of that too. And of course, if you want to drive quickly and forget about the tech in front of you, I've got this button set up to just turn the screen off, and it's just like being in an old school hot hatch. Okay, but here's the thing. You've heard my bad points, but you know what? Every time I drive this car, no matter what my mood, no matter what the day's like, what's been going on, the fact that maybe a Fiesta ST pivots around your hips a little bit better, do you know what? I just smile and I giggle like a little girl every time I chuck it into a corner. N mode engaged, you can just about hear the pops and bangs, and it's awesome. Sorry, must collect myself and be professional, but the i20N is just fun. There's just an old school charm about it. The way that you can configure things the way you like means that the drive mode's then simple to interact with. The engine, sure, it's not that punchy down low and doesn't rev out that well, but when you're in this sort of sweet spot from 3.5 to 6 grand, it pulls really hard for what it is. And yeah, I don't know. So far, the overarching opinion of this i20N is that it's awesome. And it makes me smile, and it makes me laugh. And as far as cars go, I don't think there's a better thing a car can do. Certainly when you're a 24-year-old young chap like myself. You just want to pop it in N mode and have some fun. So, what are my plans with the Hyundai i20N over the next 6 months? Well, firstly, I'm going to drive it absolutely as much as I can at every single chance I get to see if I can't overcome some of those niggling issues and discover some issues that I haven't yet identified, because that's kind of what this is all about. It's about real-world driving and how this car ages not only over a week, but over 6 months, a realistic ownership period that's going to give me a bunch more information about this little hot hatch. Of course, along the way, we're going to try and do some fun stuff, some fun content as well. We're going to be pitting this car against some of its rivals and some cars you might not necessarily consider as this car's rivals. For example, the forthcoming Toyota GR86 and Subaru BRZ. We're also going to be trying to spend as much time on the racetrack as we can to take advantage of Hyundai's 5-year unlimited kilometer track warranty. So that's going to be plenty of fun and plenty to get us started with. So those are our plans in place for the moment with this Hyundai i20N. But if you have any ideas, let me know in the comment section down below, especially if you want to see any interesting comparos or have some cars in your garage that might look good lined up against this thing. And while you're down there, we'd also love it if you could hit subscribe and the bell icon if you haven't done so already, because it really helps us grow the Chasing Cars channel. And as always, thank you for watching.